Today I'm going to unearth one of the oldest pieces of D&D media, so stick around while I break it down and maybe we can work out why this collection of one-shots didn't turn into a timeless campaign.
You seek a way back to your birth world. Come.
Hi, nice to meet you, I'm White Male. So after WotC started off the year with a big bang, the same sort of bang that you hear when someone lights a firework in your bed when you're sleeping in it, and, you know, the drama that followed after that, they released a D&D movie. I've heard it's okay. All you kids these days getting to experience the tabletop world through brilliant personalities of the hobby, new polished editions, and not so many people saying that playing D&D was akin to you summoning Satan with, you know, through dice. I mean, me too. In the 80s, I wasn't even a sperm cell yet. I was but an atom that had not yet combined into the bottle of Budweiser that I get to curse for my existence. Well, for a bunch of peoples out there, they didn't have all these fancy cameras and CG making the games they love come alive on screen. They had the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon from the 80s. And there have been D&D movies that came out in the 2000s, but this, this is something special. So let's go, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's dive into the not-so-distant past for some Dungeons & Dragons. It's so hot in this room, and I've got no water in this mug. This show was first released in 1983 on CBS and animated by Toei Animation. Toei? I'm not sure. Who were known for a bunch of works involving Dragon Ball GT, One Piece, Digimon, and even Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's time to
So yeah, chances are high with this being great. Initially I was going to run through the whole first season, but no. The first episode is a gem on its own. And it only ran for 27 episodes. But why? This all sounds like a slam dunk. I'll get to that. Before I watched any of this, I picked up this little synopsis that I found on the greatest resource, Wikipedia. The show focuses on a group of friends aged between 9 and 15 who are transported into the realm of Dungeons & Dragons by taking a magical dark ride on an amusement park roller coaster. Upon arriving in the realm, they meet Dungeon Master, who gives each child a magical item. Hearing this, I was like, ooh, interesting. I'm excited to see how this all looks. But here's the thing. That synopsis is covered in full within the first minute of the show. It's funny how Toei worked on this and Dragon Ball, with Dragon Ball being known for episodes upon episodes of people screaming, and then this lays out the entire show's deal in less time than it takes me to take a shit. To be fair, this is basically the show's intro in every episode. It shows these 6 kids getting on a ride and being transported into another world and being given their classes, which, you know, hey, how many times have we heard people complain about a show not grabbing people fast enough? But even so, I'm gonna drag it on a few points here. The obvious one being, a Dungeons & Dragons ride? Why a ride? Why not they're playing D&D and they get sucked into the game? Like, is that too obvious? I thought at first, like, oh no, they didn't want to copy anything big like Jumanji, but no. Jumanji came out in 1995. Why did they go on a ride? I mean, in 1983, it was Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, they had the coloured boxes, and they're gonna go on a ride? The credits show the theme park that they're all trapped in, but why? Why a ride? What is the reason? And this intro is so quick. I know I excused it before, but still, like, first episode, you're like, oh, who are these guys? And they're on a ride, and they get flung into another world, and then they're fired out of a portal, and they're falling from the sky. And then boom, they're on the floor, completely fine. I mean, look at this.
What's happening? Where are we?
I did not edit a bit of that. I mean, Christ, at least Army of Darkness let Ash Williams hit the ground. Also, DMs, pay attention, take notes. Do you want to know how to introduce a character? Hi, we're friends now. Who and what are you? And oh yeah, Tiamat is a recurring villain in this show. Yes, Tiamat. These kids are met with the evil goddess of all dragons. Then this snazzily dressed gremlin grants them all items to suit their classes, do you know? Balance this encounter even just a little bit. I'm sorry, one more time please? This guy I mentioned is Dungeon Master. Yes, you heard me right. He is called Dungeon Master. He's not the Dungeon Master of this story. No, his name is Dungeon Master. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm White Male. Now, before I move on to our first episode, epically named The Night of No Tomorrow, let me give you some more details about our characters. We have Hank, the stoic and brave ranger, Sheila, the thieving ginge, Bobby the barbarian, who's the youngest of the group, Diana, the inspiring brave athlete, Eric, fuck you Eric, and this guy in the end, the guy who will become our group's bumbling but endearing magician, his name is Presto. Yep, Presto, the magician. Oh yeah, they also have a baby unicorn named Uni the unicorn. Hey Bobby, I'd watch out, that unicorn might give you crippling debt. And who could forget our BBEG Venger? Like Avenger, but it's just Venger. Or Venga? Maybe he was a fan of the Venga Boys. So, now we're prepped. Let's get into it. The kids are seen climbing a mountain to get a good view of where to go next.
Come on, Uni!
That's a weird noise for a baby horse. Yes, I know, it's not a horse, it's a unicorn. Unicorns have some goat parts, I think. So maybe this lamb sort of noise would make sense, but man, it's weird. And it's the noise that Uni makes throughout the whole show. Also, just a side note, I looked up who did the noises, thinking like what intern was given the job of moaning into a microphone. Guess who voices Uni? Frank Welker. If you don't know who Frank is, you're 12. Or more respectively, you know his work before you know him. Who's Frank? Well, Frank is just one of the highest grossing actors of all time, with roles such as Fred from Scooby-Doo, Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget, Slimer, he's been in Smurfs and Captain Planet, he's even done animal noises for Santa's Little Helper from The Simpsons, and Nibbler from Futurama, and so much more. And this legend of voice acting is gurgling into my ears as a baby unicorn amidst this cast as the main characters. I love this.
What a view! What a view! What a view!
I agree. That lovely background work we'd see in Dragon Ball only 3 years later. Turns out, before Dragon Ball, these guys were acquainted with Dragonborn. I'll see myself out.
What an echo! What an echo! What an echo!
I'm sorry. Whoa, what did he say?
What an echo! What an echo!
That echo did him so dirty. Then after having fun with the echoes, Bobby, the 9-year-old, has a go and provokes my favourite scene in the show.
Sheila, can't you do something about your little brother?
Why does he sound like Seinfeld?
He's not bothering anyone.
He's bothering me.
He's bothering me? Eric is such an a-hole. I love it. Fuck you, Eric.
It's Tiamat the dragon!
Jesus! That noise was horrific. And also very cat-like for a dragon, which I can't harp on too much because she looks very cat-like. I mean, that acid dragon head is straight up a panther.
Bobby will be crushed!
Not if he isn't there.
Oh my god, you killed him! So after Tiamat appears and is locked in a cave through some masterful deception, they have their first encounter with the Dungeon Master. Oh no, I'm sorry, just Dungeon Master.
Where did you come from?
Oh, someplace between there and here.
Very specific, thank you.
Listen, I've had it with your riddles. Now give us a straight answer for once.
For once? This is the first episode, what have we missed? Also, I have to mention this, okay? Sheila's dress is very short, and Diana's outfit and drawn depiction need not be explained. And let me tell you, there are illustrations of these two online.
That's a child!
Technically, he's 475 years old.
Then why did you draw him like this?
The internet being reliably strange, as always. Then, Dungeon Master explains the lore of this place, when the players didn't ask, I might add, like a true DM, and warns the kids Avenger's current disguise has
White hair. Beware, young adventurers.
He's gone! I hate it when he does that.
When he does what? Disappear? How often does he do this? What have we missed? Also, f*** you, Eric.
It's simple. The man said go north. We should go north.
I'd trade anything for Dad's limousine right now.
F*** you, Eric. Now heading north, the long walk has left the kids hungry and weary. So, Presto uses magic to make them some food.
Magic burgers appear!
Gee, Presto, I kind of like my burgers a little more well done than that.
Based.
According to this, we're somewhere near Merlin's castle.
Damn, he's good. So yes, after heading north on their long journey, they get to Merlin's castle by climbing up a ladder to his cloud fortress.
According to legend, Merlin can do anything.
Even get us home?
If Merlin can't, no one can.
No one? If he can't, no one can? Well, let's hope that he can, eh?
Finally, we're gonna meet a real wizard.
Ah, you, Eric.
Face it, Uni. As a wizard, I'm no whiz.
But all odd. Wait. See, Uni gets it. Before they can get into the castle, they're faced with an uncrossable moat. So it's time for Diana to do the one thing that an acrobat is used for.
My department.
Inside the Wizard Merlin's magnificent castle, they ask the Great Scholar for help as he strokes his Cherbonog, and they initially confuse him for Venger, because the one clue they have is white hair.
Look, he has white hair.
Would that I did, young lady. I am a great magician, but the one thing I cannot do is grow hair.
Why does his hat have hair though? They put that in for the jest in there. Oh, he's not actually Venger. But why does his hat have hair? It's a wizard hat. It's not a fucking deerstalker hat or whatever it's called. It's a wizard hat. Merlin then tells them that long ago he used his magic to drive away the dragons from the town of Helix. Yes, that's its name.
The dragons were gone forever.
Aw, brother.
Ah, f*** you, Eric. Not interested in the DM's law, apparently, Eric runs to anywhere else to find a way to stop playing.
On second thought...
Kill him! Kill him now! Do it now! Do it now! Kill him! Do it now! Instead of watching Eric meet his much-deserved end, the group sees that their draconic foe has followed them after escaping the cave it was lured into. And oh boy is she mad!
This time you'll not escape me.
Hey, Tiamat, keep that to yourself. These are still kids. Then the kids must run from Tiamat in a daring escape by running into a door that I'm guessing Merlin didn't know he had in his castle? Unless... And I'm not gonna lie, I really like this part. They open a dungeon trapdoor and have Presto conjure a carpet to lay over the hole. Then, Diana tricks Tiamat into stepping into the hole. It's a fun way for these heroes to defeat the enemy using a combination of their skills without somehow killing off this legendary being. It's great fun.
Oh, Merlin, here's your rabbit.
It's not a rabbit, it's a hare. A white hare.
Oh my god, I called it! It was a Cherbonog! Then, after such an impressive win, Merlin extends an offer to the group since Presto's magic shown so much potential.
I'm 70 years young, my lad. The age where I begin searching for one to teach my secrets to. One like this one.
Hey, sweet! Finally, like a win for Presto!
Me?
Indeed. I saw your wizardry and was quite impressed.
Hey, Presto!
I can teach you all my magic.
Hey, now we're talking, Presto. Here, I'll get the celebratory drinks.
But only if you stay here for the rest of your life.
What? Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. After such an alluring offer, the kids meet outside and plan to head off to Helix.
We have to wait for Presto.
You don't think Presto would stay with Merlin, do you?
Of course not. He's your pal. I mean, he loves you like family. And also, he knows that you guys are gonna need his magic to get home. The team wizard until the end.
Farewell. Your friend has decided to stay and become my apprentice.
Ah.
I can't believe it.
It's our fault, you know. Always making fun of him when his magic tricks backfired.
I mean, you don't need to listen to me or anything, but you could totally blame this on Eric. Now with the party split and dejected, back in Merlin's tower, Presto helps Merlin with a potion for like 5 seconds before reading through a book for a spell to get home. But you left the group to stay. What? But in the process of finding this spell, he accidentally makes a horde of dragons. I'm sorry, what spell was that? Let me write this shit down. And the sinister plot is revealed. After ignoring the hint of the white hair, yes, Merlin is not who he says he is, and is in fact Venger in disguise, using Presto to undo Merlin's magic to bring back the dragons to the realm.
We have to go back and get Merlin to help.
I don't think that guy we met was Merlin.
But he looked like Merlin, standing there stroking his white rabbit.
Not his rabbit, his hair.
His white hair!
Hey, they did it! They figured out the puzzle, like every player. After about an hour, now all caught up with the bad guy's plot, the kids ride back to the castle to stop Venger and save Presto, who is now without his magical hat. And Sheila wishes she had a longer dress as she gets on a horse. Climbing back up the ladder, our heroes bust into the castle to find Presto, but are set upon by Venger, who demands that they hand over their objects of power.
I have the wizard's hat. Hand over the rest of your objects of power.
I swear to God, every time he does that, Blaster cracks me up. Like I know it's a kid's show, but come on, he's the epitome of evil, and every time it sounds like a duck stepping in shit whenever he casts a spell. I mean, listen to this.
You cannot escape.
And again, the heroes use their items and skills to solve problems in a creative way, and that's probably one thing that I just love about this show. It doesn't have an Oscar-winning script or anything, like it's for kids after all, but there is some great creativity on display. Like using the club to knock books off the shelf to bury Venger rather than just hitting him, or using the acrobatic staff to extinguish a bunch of torches. It really makes watching this fun in a way that a good children's show can be. Then, the group splits up and devises a plan to distract Venger so Presto can cast the anti-dragon spell.
Keep him busy? What are we supposed to do? Tell him jokes?
You, Eric! While the heroes distract Venger, Hank and Presto rush to make the potion. And of course, Presto doesn't believe in himself, while Hank tries his best to inspire... What just happened? Did a brass band just bust in?
This game is ended.
Game's over. That was a short session. And also, what? What did the others do? That plan mustn't have worked.
Remember the one thing that Venger's afraid of? Tiamat the dragon!
Ah, yes. Famously. What? When was that established? Never? Okay, just checking.
Tiamat the dragon? You're gonna let the dragon loose? Don't we have enough problems?
You know what, guys? I think I'm with Eric on this one. I mean, f*** you, Eric.
Eric, stop talking and start helping.
Yeah! Whatever you just said. So, our heroes release Tiamat from the dungeon to scare away Venger. And with Venger out of the picture, Presto is able to cast the spell that Merlin once did to save Helix from the dragons. The day is saved, and Diana calls Presto Pesto.
I only stayed with Merlin because I thought I could find a way to get us home.
We understand, Presto.
And Merlin's tower gets to continue its legendary voyage among the clouds. But alas, Venger still has Presto's hat and his access to magic. This will surely be a sting in the heroes' plans and their journey to come.
Lose this, wizard?
How did you get that from Venger? And also, why are you being so seductive? And also, DM, that whole white hair thing? Where is the hair? Venger was in disguise, but that hair never brought up again.
Listen, Dungeon Master, while you're returning things, how about returning us to...
He did it again!
He did it again!
Fuck you, Eric! And with all said and done, the heroes go on their newly acquired horses and head off into the sunset for their next adventure.
Climb aboard, Eric.
I don't ride with anyone else. I want a steed of my own.
Yes! It was a happy ending after all!
I don't ride anything that gives milk.
And that'll do it. The first episode of this classic. It was weird and had all the early 80s children's show tropes, but, you know, you could sit and poke holes in it all day, be pedantic, all you want, but, you know, rule of cool. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun from start to finish. What a timeless little treat. And as to why this show didn't get past 27 episodes, the ratings didn't warrant enough episodes. Which, looking back, it's sad, but when you compete with other shows like Transformers and the Smurfs, a show about a very niche game whose market audience was higher than those that would watch the cartoon, it was never going to bank the same audience numbers. When asking people about this cartoon, only a slim number have actually watched it, and an even slimmer number have remembered, but it's still nice to look back on such a project. appreciate the creativity and the fantasy and wonder infused into it. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and if you want to watch this episode yourself, you can find it here on YouTube. So check it out and look back on such a fun little show. Thank you for watching. If this show was far too wholesome for you, click the video on screen as I conquer the top 5 cursed ttrpg questions. It gets weird.